and welcome back to the podcast that knows what the next M. Night twist is. Welcome back to the podcast that knows what Chris Hemsworth smells like. Welcome back to the podcast that just got casted in Knives Out 3. Welcome back to the podcast that will help you bury that body with no questions asked. Welcome back to the podcast that will back you up in any street fight. Welcome back to the podcast that will show you how to properly embezzle money. Welcome back to the podcast that will risk their life on that parlay. Welcome back to the best moment of your week. Welcome back to another episode of the Love, Death, and Movies podcast. Internet's #1 breakdown and review show. The show that crushes watch lists week after week. Every month is a different genre. Every week is a different film in that genre. So follow us on everything. Join for the ride, and let's watch some movies. I'm going to do that one day with one breath, and it's going to kill me.
You got this.
Every single week. I'm one of your hosts, as always, Harry. With me, of course, every single week. The pride of the West Coast, Ash, and the notorious Byron. Guys, how are you doing? How are we doing? How's everything?
Doing well.
Yeah, sweet.
Contempt.
I'll take contempt. Okay, I'll take contempt. So guys, we're starting a new month. You know, we finished off the month of directorial debuts. People were saying in the comments, greatest month of their lives. We understand. We get that. We understand. We're only going bigger and better. And this month it was all Ash's idea. Which I like, as soon as she said it, I was like, yep, we're doing that. That's cool. Because we kind of like want to do something now, every now and then. We'll be doing normal genres for sure, but we kind of want to do some like unique and fun shit every now and then. So Ash suggested like summer movies, and we were like workshopping that because summer is different across all the globe. And then we're like, let's just do movies where people sweat heaps and it's in really hot weather. So we're doing the month of sweat. Which we're really excited for. I think a great idea, Ash. I think it's great. So the first film we got off the rank, of course, is Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing, which is a first watch for both of you, which I think is awesome. I adore this film. Spoilers. I'm really keen to see how it is for you guys. But before we get to that, how's your weeks? Ash, I know you went on a trip. Tell me about the trip. Go.
Good. Yeah, this week it was last weekend, so now it's Friday. So I'm gonna call it part of the week because it was, Saturday, Sunday.
That's true.
But yeah, it was amazing. I went down to Southern California. We stayed right near Hollywood Boulevard. So when you think of touristy Hollywood and you think of the stars and the Wax Museum, like
Hell yeah.
that's the general area that we stayed. Didn't really care to do any of that. I did it when I was a kid. It's kind of overrated in my opinion. So don't like to be shoulder to shoulder with a bunch of sweaty tourists. So
Not in the month of sweat?
not even it was still in May. So technically it was, it's before the month of sweat. It's not allowed.
Pre-sweat.
Yeah. But yeah, no, we went to the restaurant that is used for so many TV show movie scenes, but the big one is that's the restaurant where Sebastian and Mia first meet in La La Land.
That's so cool.
So that was really cool. And then went and saw Pulp Fiction at the New Beverly. Best cinema experience of my life. I don't think anything will ever top it.
Was it sold out?
Yes, sold out. They actually did 4 showings. We went to the very last showing. It was sold out. There was a line of like 40 people in the standby line. Don't know if any of them got in.
Losers.
Every seat was filled. We walked over and ate beef Wagyu burgers that were like smashed down, like good burger on the walk over. So
hell yeah, best type of burger, I reckon. The smash burgers.
Yeah. So good. But yeah, the movie was amazing. The sound quality was better than I've ever seen it before. And the 35 millimeter experience is just like unreal. That's my first time seeing a movie not like in standard, big movie screen ever. So yeah, it was everything. And I don't think I'll ever have a better movie theater experience. So that was my week.
Thunderbolts is coming out next year, Ash. Don't say that too quickly.
You're right.
Can't wait for that. That's not going to be a train wreck. New Beverly, that's Tarantino's actual cinema, right? Like he owns it.
Yeah, he's owned it for about 10 years, I believe. It's been around though for about 100 years, but he's the current owner operator.
Doesn't surprise me that it's like high quality sound. Like I'm sure as soon as he got ownership, he would have pumped that thing out to make sure that it's like the highest quality of anything.
Yeah, the Pulp Fiction copy was his actual personal copy. Not
That's
all
cool.
the movies are, but some, a lot of them, they are his like favorites.
It's just a DVD.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they did announce that it was his personal copy, so it's like it's a good copy. And yeah, just such a cool experience. So
Epic, nice.
Yeah.
That's epic week. Byron, how's your week?
It's a normal week. The best of my week hasn't even happened yet.
Oh yeah.
It's fight week.
Yeah, the podcast. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Not only that, it's a pay-per-view fight week. I got my predictions in. I enjoy them more as soon as I started like trying to predict fights. I enjoy them so much more because I fucking care.
Did you watch the press conference yesterday?
I did.
It was a good press conference.
Any press conference with Sean Strickland is a good press
Okay,
conference.
I like it.
But although my league predictions fucking sucked. I haven't won anything this week, which is shit. State of Origin is on Wednesday.
That's true. So Ash, State of Origin's like it's a big Australian thing for NRL, which is rugby in Australia, where two states go up against each other. So it's New South Wales versus Queensland, and it gets very, very violent.
Realistically, I shouldn't care because I'm not fucking Australian.
No, you shouldn't.
I do so much.
But hey, you care way more than me, and I am Australian.
Yeah, so. That still blows my mind that you're not.
Different sport, man. Different sport.
Yeah, but you're Australian. I just figured like fucking I mean, I've been in Australia during State of Origin. Crazy. My only time in Australia, like I swear, everybody was wearing either red or blue. I was just like, it was fucking nuts.
Yeah,
it was great. And then I was just a little old Warriors fan.
up the
up the fucking was. But yeah, it's okay week. Fight day tomorrow. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go.
Nice. Yeah, my week was good. You know, just a standard work week. It was pretty hectic, but I got Sydney Film Festival starting up in a few days, in Wednesday next week. So I've got, I think it's like 11 straight days of watching it. I think minimum 1, maximum 3 a day. I think I'm clocking in 17 movies now.
Jeez, Harry. And you're working during all of this as well?
Yeah, so it'd only be we've got 1 day as a public holiday through it, which I'm gonna need. But yeah, then I'm actually working through it. But you know, the grind's a grind. I'm gonna put out a video probably later today, just showcasing what I will be seeing. But there's some cool shit. Like Austin Butler's coming for the bike riders. He'll be introing it. I saw the TV Glow. My most anticipated Kinds of Kindness. New Yorgos Lanthimos. You know me with Yorgos. Oh, I love that weird Greek freak. But there's a lot. I can't wait. But that's for another time. For today, we are talking about Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing, released in 1989. A little synopsis. By the way, let me know if you can hear the rain, because it is now a monsoon outside. So if you start to hear the rain, let me know. But it's the hottest day of summer, not here though. It's the hottest day of summer. You can do nothing, you can do something, or you can. Sal is the Italian owner of a pizzeria in Brooklyn, a neighborhood local. But a neighborhood local bugging out becomes upset because he sees that the pizzeria's Wall of Fame exhibits only Italian-American actors. Bugging Out believes a pizzeria in a black neighborhood should showcase black actors, but Sal disagrees. The wall becomes a symbol of racism and hate to Bugging Out and to other people in the neighborhood, and tensions rise. So, guys, after watching this film, what do you think that the budget was for this film? Like, ballpark.
That's a good question.
Right.
Maybe 5 million?
I don't know. Ask Tyler.
Yeah, so 5 million? So, close. It was 6.5, which I think is reasonable for this. Good. Like this wasn't Spike Lee's first film, so it's very much like he can kind of throw a sway, and that's like at that time, late 80s, that's probably good for like an upper echelon sort of indie film. But coming from 6.5 million, what do you think the box office was for this film?
Oh my god.
Again, ask Tyler.
I would guess that it was at least 5 times that.
Yeah, well done. 37.3 million. Well done. Yep.
Might have found Ash's game.
Yeah, there we go. We got it.
She's haven't been when it comes to yeah, but maybe I'll showcase my
season
skills.
3.
Yeah, absolutely. But no, I think that's awesome. It's definitely like, I'm sure that we can all agree now of how much this film is now renowned. This has become like a cult hit ever since, and even like showcasing the Oscars, etc. Like, this is very not much become a critical and cult hit, which, in my opinion, definitely deserves to be. But after you guys have seen this now for the first time, what do you think of the film? Start with Byron.
Yeah, I saw this last night, so it's fresh on my mind. I liked it. I won't give my rating. Fuck, people might be upset with that, but I don't know.
If
I
people are
really
upset with the movie
I
rating, by the
really
way, that's
liked it.
fucking nuts.
It's high. It's a
Okay.
high rating, but I feel like anything outside of the rating, it's like, fuck you, you're wrong. But I really enjoyed it. I knew I would. I don't think like I'm I don't like dislike any big popular movies. I'm a fucking film bro, you know. So I knew I would like it, probably to the extent that I did. I think I don't think it has any flaws either. Like I'm not gonna say it's one of my favorite movies I've ever seen, but I think it's an achievement and a half. I think Spike Lee. This is also my first Spike Lee.
Have you seen Black Klansman?
This is my first Spike Lee.
Oh, dude, watch Black Klansman. You'd like Black Klansman. That's a great movie.
Yeah, this is my first Spike Lee movie. I've technically started his filmography, so got to finish it.
Yeah.
But if any of his work is anything like this, I'm fucking in for some good shit.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, big fan.
Hell yeah. Ash.
Yeah. I love this movie. I think it's just like one of those ones where you just kind of know something was made for you. And I think the overall like vibe of the movie, I think I messaged you like 45 minutes in,
Yeah.
and Adam and I were both watching it, and we were just like, I have to give him credit. He was like, wait, hold on. This is like live action Hey Arnold. Like, stay
Yes.
with me on this idea. And when he said it, I was like, that's exactly what I was thinking. I just didn't know how to verbalize it. And I think for me, like that era, late 80s, early 90s, is just so much of my favorite, just like overall aesthetic and music and settings. I love a New York movie. So
Oh yeah.
everything, the recipe was all there. But then you add in like the social justice and the violence and the community, kind of all these like issues they're going through. And also just kind of watching how people are having to spend their day. You kind of have anything from like a drunk wandering around. Wandering around. That's hard to say.
Yeah. You can say it 5 times fast.
Pizza owner, and these guys kind of talking on the street in front of that brick wall. So you kind of just have like everybody doing their thing.
Yeah.
So it's like very simplistic at its core, but it has so much meaning behind it that it makes it like a very powerful story by the end of it. So I loved that it kind of like brought you in, and then it just like 30 minutes left, and you're just like, what the fuck is happening? This is intense. So I love a movie that can kind of like shock me like that halfway through. So I loved it. No real complaints at all. I think it's very cool filmmaking and really good writing and just really interesting, funny named characters. And
The characters
excited
are
to
the
get into it.
The character names are
Is it-
fantastic.
Is it labeled as a comedy?
No.
I think it's one of the genres.
Is
I mean,
it?
it's funny. I laughed a lot.
There's
And
some funny
the
moments
first
for sure.
I was about to say there's heaps of, like, you said brick wall. I just thought of mine. I was just I won't say it now, but fuck, it's good. But I
it's
on
a drama
Letterboxd-
at its
on
core.
Letterboxd, I know it's not labeled as a comedy at all. It's just drama.
But that's Spike Lee for you though. Like even
For
with
you.
Black Klansman, like at its heart, it's drama, but there are some comedic elements. But it's also Spike Lee writes in a way that because all of his films have a message, specifically around social justice, and he uses comedy to kind of diffuse any form of like defensive nature that an audience would have. So it kind of like diffuses that already. So it definitely has moments of hilarity, and it also has moments of absurdity. Like this whole neighborhood, there's a guy that none of them have jobs. But the guy that's like his whole
What is it? Mookie is the only one that has a job.
yeah, I love Mookie.
Yeah.
Mookie is like one of my favorite characters in film. I love Mookie so much. But there's one dude who's probably who's one of the greatest characters ever, Radio Raheem, who just walks around this hood with a boombox. That's his entire day. I love it.
That's why I think it reminded me of Hey Arnold, because it's so animated. All these characters feel like they could be like in an animated TV show. Like they almost don't feel real. And I think that's why I really loved it.
There's a New Zealand cartoon that's like this. I'll look it up later, but it's exactly like this, but it is a cartoon. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. Wow. Oh yeah, I love this film. I think I said in my Letterboxd review, I think this is one of the most essential pieces of film that everyone needs to watch. I think this is one of the most important films ever. Just from the discourse after it, or after this film came out, I think proves that of how specifically I've got a quote here, but I'll say it after my review. That this film quintessentially written perfectly and showcased even more perfect than that. The way that it's artistically shown makes it timeless. Like this is like a kind of, you look at it, any kind of showcase, any kind of scene of it, and you're like, this is a piece of art. Like just the colors are so vibrant, which I think is done on purpose to show like this really kind of dark message through really vibrant colors. I think is really damn good. Fuck, Spike Lee can act. I love Spike Lee in this film. I think he's bloody perfect in this. But there's just so many characters in this, and they all have their time, that they're all given enough like moments that you can connect with every single one of them, which I think's insanely hard to do. And I just love pizza, so I would go to Sal's. But I agree, there needs to be some more diversity on that wall. But to back me up, during the 1990 Oscar ceremony, while announcing the Best Picture nominees, Kim Basinger caused some controversy when she ignored her script text and said, "We've got 5 great films here. They're great for one reason, because they tell the truth. But there's one film that's missing from this list that deserves to be on it, because ironically, it might tell the biggest truth of them all, and that's Do the Right Thing." Spike Lee would later thank her. His 2019 episode of the podcast Unspooled. So yeah, I think that's pretty funny. Also, hell yeah, Kim Basinger. I think this definitely deserved to be nominated. I think it's unbelievable that this didn't even get nominated for Best Picture, and kind of shows you the state of Hollywood. Probably even now, but still
Not
at
shocking.
that time.
What else was nominated that year? Off the top of your head, can you remember any?
No. One sec.
Was
Oscars Best Picture.
89.
This will be 1990 Oscars.
90. But yeah.
Dead Poets Society, fair enough. Driving Miss Daisy, My Left Foot, Field of Dreams, Born on the 4th of July.
What the fuck is that? Wait, okay. Go back to what did you say? Something about a foot? What the fuck is that?
My Left Foot.
I've never heard of that movie.
Oh man, My Left Foot's good. My Left Foot's really good. You watch that movie. It's no Do the Right Thing though.
Like, call me off guard. So
yeah, I'm just making shit up as I go. My Left Foot is Daniel Day-Lewis. It's a Jim Sheridan film.
Add it to the list that I haven't fucking heard of.
You haven't said, wait, oh right, I thought you were saying you haven't heard of Daniel Day-Lewis. I was like, what? But, yeah,
No,
the
Jesus
film. Yeah,
Christ.
I'm with you. Sweet. All right, let's get into the film. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Up, you wake. This is Mr. Senior Love Daddy, your voice of choice. This world's only 12-hour strong man on the air on We Love Radio 108 FM. The last of your dial, but the first in your hearts, and that's the truth. Ruth. I love Mr. Senior Love Daddy so much. It's Samuel Jackson. He appears every now and then at just the perfect moments of like the moments that are starting to go a bit down, and then it just goes back to him, and he's just narrating the street. He's like, Mookie, I love my man Mookie. I love this guy so much. So I've got a little synopsis in terms of all the intros of the characters, and then we can go through the actual film, because the characters, I think, what make this movie. So Mookie is a young man living in the black and Puerto Rican neighborhood in Brooklyn with his sister Jade, and works as a pizza delivery man for a local pizzeria. Sal, the pizzeria's Italian-American owner, has owned it for 25 years. He has an older son, Giuseppe, better known as Pino, played by John Turturro, who, if you guys aren't on this John Turturro train,
I am.
This guy is spectacular. In terms of acting, go watch Barton Fink. If you haven't, Barton Fink is a Coen Brothers film from early Coen Brothers, and he's just such a good actor.
He's also in The Big Lebowski as Jesus.
He's
great.
amazing in Big Lebowski.
I know that one.
Oh man, Big Lebowski is great. So Pino. So he is racist and detests the place like a sickness, is what he says, and holds racial contempt against the whole neighborhood. Sal's younger son Vito, love Vito. We're fans of Vito over here. We're big Vito stans. He's friends with Mookie, which Pino feels undermines their fraternal bond. So Mookie takes a very casual attitude towards his job. He often takes long breaks and takes as long as he wants to deliver any type of food, which Pino hates. Like, it continually brings up to Sal, yada yada yada. So the story takes place on the hottest day of the summer, and the street is completely filled with distinct personalities. are going about their regular day-to-day job. There's an old drunk that's called DeMayor. DeMayor rules. DeMayor fucking rules. I've got a couple of quotes from him later on. Who's constantly trying to win both the approval and affection of the neighborhood matron, Mother Sister. Again,
Mother Sister might be my favorite name.
Mother Sister's so damn good. There's a young man named Radio Rahim who lives for nothing else but to blast public enemies, fight the power on his boombox wherever he goes. He wears love and hate, four-fingered ring on each hand, which he explains in one scene, which I will go through. There's a mentally disabled man named Smiley, constantly meanders around the neighborhood, holding up pictures of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. There's a fast-talking young man named Buggin' Out, played by Giancarlo Esposito. That's a young Giancarlo.
I think it's Giancarlo.
Look like him at all.
Is it Giancarlo Esposito?
Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah, by the way, this is, I think it's like the 25th or 30th anniversary of this film. I think it's 25th, because, no, 30th? It's 35th?
It's 89, so it should be like 35th.
35th anniversary. Giancarlo Esposito did a video posted online last week, and it's him doing the scene again of when his kicks get run over by the bike.
Oh, what a fucking... Oh, I can't say that.
I gotta watch that.
Yo! I love that.
You add that dude to the list of movie characters that I just want to like repeatedly punch in the face.
The guy that ran over his thing.
Yes.
Yeah, fair play.
God damn.
And then we have the local radio disc jockey, Mr. Senior Love Daddy, who rounds up this entire neighborhood. So before we start, tell me, who is your favorite character?
Oh, man. Okay.
Is it Mother Sister? Or is that just your favorite
I
name?
don't think Mother Sister is my favorite character. Just every time they say it, Mother Sister, I don't know. It's funny because it doesn't really make sense. Like it's a vibe. I don't know. It feels like an oxymoron or something, but I just love it. I love the way it sounds. I don't know. Jade's pretty cool. I like Jade. Also, it's Spike Lee's real sister. I recognize that pretty quickly because they look exactly alike.
You know, you say it, yeah.
Yeah. Outside of her, I mean, I don't know. I did like Radio Raheem, and I also like Mookie, but Mookie's also very irritating. Like, why don't you want to show up for your son? Come on now. So yeah, I think those three maybe. I don't really know if I have like an actual like passionate favorite.
Okay.
You know, neither. But okay. When this movie started, I didn't look at the cast or anything. I was like, is that fucking Samuel Jackson? Bro, I swear, he appears in like the most randomest shit. He's just random side role, like random character that has like fucking less than 20 lines. He was probably my favorite. Fucking Samuel Jackson's character.
I think he's a great like foundation for this film.
There's one scene where he's just in the background, just in the top corner, like dancing. It's the fucking best. Oh, it might be my favorite scene.
The scene when the cops come out and he's still like on live on air, and he takes off his shirt and then he puts on a hat, like just out of nowhere. I'm like, this is great. But yeah, the great scene when like, because he obviously ordered like a chicken palm from Sal's and it's getting delivered to him by Mookie, and Mookie's just talking to someone outside of the DJ box. And you can just see Mr. Senior Love Daddy just like come on, I'm hungry.
It just looks like he's dancing.
Yeah, it's so good. I love it. Anyway, we get to the scene one, opening scene. So the film opens on an energetic and virtually striking sequence of public enemies fight the power. Tina dances ferociously in various outfits across different backdrops. The sequence is gets to set the sort of the tone of the entire film, and it completely foreshadows the exploration of racial and social conflicts. The opening not only introduces viewers to the film's stylistic flair, but also situates the narrative with the vibrant yet volatile atmosphere of Brooklyn, which I think is cool. I loved this opening, that it wasn't just like a straight up into the story. It was like much more just like a vibey sort of intro. It gives you like the vibe of the story rather than the actual gives you, you know what I mean. I know what I'm trying to say. I just couldn't put the words. As the film transitions from the opening credits, we see the neighborhood waking up on the scorching summer day. The camera pans over the streets, introducing key locations. So we see Sal's famous pizzeria. We see the Korean grocery store. Residents begin their daily routines. Children are playing on the streets. Mothers are chatting at the stoops. Mookie, the protagonist, played by the wonderful Spike Lee. I know you're listening, Spike. We're big fans over here. Love ya. Is seen waking up his sister Jade, which I didn't know, but now you say it, Ash. Makes total sense. It's real sister. They get ready for work and establish the character has a very laid-back, responsibility sort of attitude. He doesn't really care about what he does. It's just every day is the same day for him. The scene highlights the community's vibrancy again. The interspersal dynamics will always play out through the day. So DeMeyer, an elderly alcoholic, is sweeping the streets. He interacts with Mother Sister, played by Ruby Dee. By the way, DeMeyer and Mother Sister were married in real life.
Oh, how funny!
It's adorable, right? So I think the guy that plays DeMeyer, which is Ossie Davis, he's passed away. Rest in peace. But until he passed away, they were both still performing in roles together until they passed away. So that's adorable. Mother Sister, who watches over the neighborhood from her window. The exchange is both tender and confrontational, revealing a very complex relationship that we'll see more and more of. This scene introduces the audience to the older generation of the neighborhood and sets up that theme of generational wisdom versus contemporary struggles. Fuck, I'm good at writing notes sometimes. Their dialogue also adds very much depth towards the neighborhood's characters, illustrating its rich tapestry of life. I do love how DeMeyer always tries to give a lot of advice to anyone that walks past him. He tries to give a little thing. So Mookie's walking past him, and DeMeyer goes, "Doctor, come on, what? Always do the right thing. That's it? That's it. I got it. I'm gone." And walks
And that's
away.
when I look at the screen and I go, "Oh, he said it."
Ooh, yep.
Insert the Leo.
Exactly.
meme.
I popped for the. I love a good title drop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes it's either really really shit or it's really really good. This is one of the good ones.
This is why it's Fate the Furious. Or something like that.
So fucking bad.
Yeah. Then we've got Sal, who opens up his pizzeria with the help of his sons Vito and Pino. Sal expresses his pride in serving the neighborhood for over 25 years, while Pino exerts overly racial prejudice. It's just very weird, especially where you're working, expressing disdain for the predominantly black clientele. Mookie arrives for his shift, and we see the tension between him and Pino, who resents Mookie's presence at all times. The scene establishes Sal's pizzeria as kind of like a central hub of the community, foreshadowing the racial tensions that will erupt later, but no spoilers there. It also introduces the continuing conflict attitudes of the characters regarding race and their place in the neighborhood. So guys, do you have anything to say about the opening of this film? At all?
Yeah, I mean, I do enjoy the opening, like you said. I do think that it really drew me in, and I was kind of like, ooh, this is interesting. I've never quite seen a movie open like this. And then I continued to feel like they were going to break out into song at any moment. Like it very much reminded me of like a stage play or like a musical. I think just the way the shots were done and some of the angles, it almost looked like very much like a set. And like because there's so many characters and you're watching them have like short conversations, it very much reminds me of a play. Or a musical. Obviously, it didn't end up having any songs, so that's why I'm saying play. But which I love, so that really worked well for me. I think the style choices that he goes with here, either they're going to work for you or they don't. And I really enjoyed them. I think they drew me in more to the characters and to what was happening and just the overall community. Like you said, really getting like yourself immersed into the world of these people. And then I feel like you get to you feel like it's all happening in one little like stretch of the street, but obviously by the middle, you can kind of tell that it's literally like four corners. Like we're just kind of taking place in this little catty corner block, which is really cool, but you don't feel like it when you're first watching it. It kind of feels like maybe you're really spread out. Everyone's kind of walking around, but it really is just like really close knit community, which I think is really cool. So yeah, I like the introduction to all the characters. You really kind of get a feel for what you're about to get into, but you honestly have no idea.
You have no idea.
I mean, I wrote aesthetic, but you said vibe. Vibe's definitely the better word for it. I would say during the opening sequence, the dance at the start. Oh, that went off I thought that felt like it went on for like 10 minutes. I swear I looked at my phone because I was just like, oh, okay, she's just gonna dance. I was just like, I'll just play my phone for a minute. Fuck, and I swear I played on my phone for I felt like I was playing my phone for 10 minutes. I looked up and she's still going. I was like,
yeah, she's fighting the power.
I thought my
it was very
computer
much more
broke.
than just a Pants.
I thought it broke and it set me back to the beginning of the movie, and then it started again. That's how long it felt like it went for. But I think the vibe / aesthetic, I think it fits the movie perfectly.
Yeah.
I think it helps with all of these characters that are all charismatic, almost overly charismatic. I think so many of them that'll sound bad the way I was gonna phrase that. But everyone's got so much energy during the opening 10-15 minutes. I mean, entire movie realistically, but I really like the opening aesthetic and the fucking soundtrack. Holy shit, it banged.
Oh, the
so
soundtrack's
good.
incredible in this film. Soundtrack's
like
incredible
non-stop.
soundtrack's incredible in every Spike Lee film. Like,
Yeah, I would assume that most of his other films are similar.
Yeah, that's really good. No, I wholeheartedly agree. I think this is a kind of like a perfect openings for a film like this. As you said, like every character kind of has their moments, but every character's so different. But they're so like you could tell he put so much into writing every single one of these characters that like every one of them are very like they have their moment. I keep saying they have their moments, but you know what I mean. Like they're very like distinct between one another, but they're very like you can connect with any one of them, sort of thing.
Yeah, the balance is amazing.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah, it almost reminded me.
yeah.
Oh.
People struggle with like getting this many characters on the screen, and when and this movie's under 2 hours.
yeah.
I think I'm just below the 2 hour mark, but like nonetheless, it's under 2 hours, and this dude read like I don't know 20 odd characters.
Yeah,
That like
impressive.
you actually care for, which is kind of crazy.
Very impressive. Ash?
Oh, I was just gonna add, it almost reminded me of like similarly to what Linklater does sometimes, because even like in Dazed and Confused, he has so many characters, and obviously totally different messages in the movies. But it reminded me of almost like that type of hangout movie where you do have a lot of characters, but when the director or writer can like make them so well done, you do kind of want to care about all of them in different ways. And I have to imagine that maybe he did something similar here. But I know like Linklater gave all of them like their own playlists for Dazed and Confused, for example. So I would not be surprised if something like that happened here. Like they all had their own little like sheet that kind of explained their character, or they had like a soundtrack to listen to kind of get them in the right headspace or something.
I think so as well. Yeah.
My favorite quote was also in this opening bit.
Yep.
It's the old dude, and he said, "What I ever do to you, you're a drunk fool." Besides that,
Yeah, I love that.
that's the best line in this movie.
Besides
That's my favorite thing.
It's the delivery
Speaking
of
like
it.
a true drunk. He's so quick to defend it. He's like, wait. You need something else.
I do like how he gets $1 from Sal's just to sweep out front because he just wants to buy that one beer.
Mhm.
He's like, you're gonna have the cleanest sidewalk in the whole neighborhood.
I like how he's so upset that he has to change beer or has to change.
I get
beer.
that,
He's
man.
Like, I'm fucking pissed.
I
don't want to.
absolutely get that. Like,
Oh.
but it's the same time that shows like addiction. Like at the same time, like
and people's struggle with change.
yeah, absolutely.
I'd be fucking pissed off too.
If you're walking into Sal's Pizzeria, what's the slice that you would order? What's like your if you had to order one slice for the remainder of your days, what flavor of slice would it be?
Great flavor of slice.
Pepperoni.
Yeah, I'm a pepperoni guy as well.
I'm not really. I usually just get a fucking Hawaiian slice. It's
Hawaiian.
Yeah, and fuck you. Pineapple belongs on pizza.
I'm not saying it doesn't, but I'm saying like the best slice
I don't know.
is nuts.
I'm not. I like pizza, but I'm not like it's this. This is the best one. This will always be the best one. This is my favorite one. I don't really care.
But if you don't,
pizza,
say you go to Sal's, you're getting a Hawaiian.
Yeah, probably.
All right, cool. Sal's definitely not making a Hawaiian.
Yeah, I know.
can tell
But
you that, right?
yeah, I know.
You can guarantee that. But yeah, fair enough. So we get back into it, guys. All right, come on. All right.
On pie.
Well, you mean radio? You're not going to Sal. Yeah. All right. We got Radio Raheem, who enters Sal's pizzeria with his boombox, playing "Fight the Power." Sal tells him to turn the music off. I think that's pretty reasonable, to be honest, leading to a tense exchange. Radio Raheem's towering presence and loud music symbolizes the defense and the assertion of identity. This encounter sets up Radio Raheem as a key figure with those actions and presence challenges the status quo. The confrontation with Sal also highlights the generational and cultural clash, with Sal representing the traditional values and Radio Raheem embodying the younger generation's rebellion and demand for respect. Now, there's a scene, I know it's later on, but I put the quote here, where Mookie and Raheem are talking to each other on the street. One thing I love about this film is that everyone that talks to Mookie has a lot of respect for him. Like, Mookie's just that person that's grown up in this neighborhood that everyone just, like, knows and likes. But you see that Radio Raheem has the two, I want to call it like the four-fingered rings that say love and hate, and he describes what they are. And I just want to read out the quote because I think this is personally my favorite quote. "Let me tell you the story of right hand, left hand. It's a tale of good and evil. Hate. It was with this hand Cain iced his brother. Love. These 5 fingers, they go straight to the soul of man. The right hand, the hand of love. The story of life is this static. One hand is always fighting the other hand. The left hand is kicking so much ass. It looks like the right hand. Love is finished. But hold on, stop the presses. The right hand is coming back." I love this quote so much. "Yeah, he got the left hand in the ropes, but now that's right. Oh, it's a devastating right, and hate is hurt. He's down. Left hand, hate, co-aid by love." I kind of butchered that quote halfway through it, but it's still, the sentiment's kind of there. I think that's fucking awesome. So there's an ice cream truck that rolls its way through the neighborhood, attracting children. The scene cuts to a group of teenagers, including Smiley, a mentally challenged man who's selling pictures of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. The children and teenagers provide a glimpse into the younger generation's life and their carefree interactions. However, the presence of Smiley in his pictures introduce a historical and political dimension, reminding viewers of the ongoing struggle with racial inequality. This juxtaposition of innocence and historical consciousness underscores the film's exploration of racial identity and memory. So Mookie visits his girlfriend Tina. So throughout this whole film, Mookie kind of like... his job is being pizza delivery man, but it's constantly told how long he takes to deliver a single pizza, when it's just walking up and down a neighborhood. It takes like 30 minutes to an hour sometimes. So he gets a pizza and he goes and does these little side quests. So Mookie visits his girlfriend Tina and their son Hector. So as you were preluding to Ashley about his son. So Tina is frustrated with Mookie's lack of commitment and infrequent visits. Fair enough, to be honest. Fair enough. This scene delves into Mookie's personal life, revealing his struggles to balance work, family, and his own ambitions. Tina's demand for more involvement in their child's life adds to Mookie's sense of pressure and responsibility. This scene humanizes Mookie, showing him as more of just an employee of Sal's. He's also a father and a partner, navigating the complexities of personal relationships amidst social pressures. Holy smokes. I love this scene so much. The local DJ, Mr. Senior Love Daddy, played by Samuel Jackson, broadcasts from the studio, offering a mix of music, community announcements, and commentary. Love the commentary parts, where he's going from song to song, but he's also just dictating what's happening in the neighborhood. I love that. His presence serves as a Greek chorus, providing insight and commentary on the day's events. Love Daddy's monologues are both humorous and poignant, reflecting the community's mood and tensions at that specific time of the film. The scene establishes the DJ as the voice of reason and empathy, a unifying figure who connects the desperate. I think that's the word I was trying to write. Who connects the elements of the neighborhood through his broadcast. His role as an observer and commentator underscores the interconnectedness of the community. Sorry, it's very early in the morning. I'm gonna be tripping over some words. So, guys, do you have anything to add there? I know this is kind of a weird movie to break down. This is kind of just like a one day in a life of. There isn't that much of a story. Yeah. It's kind of like a window in life sort of film. But anything that pops out there for you guys?
Most dramas are harder to break down. Well, at least compared to most other movies, unless it's something like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. You can break that thing down. Yeah, it's still a drama. But yeah, I liked it. I think I love how there's always a linger of humor. That's why I asked if this was labeled as a comedy, because it's throughout this entire thing. But I think Lee's balance between light, actually it's not even light humor, it's just humor, humor and then the importance of what the movie's actually about. I think the balance between those two is gorgeous.
Yeah,
Notorious, you could say.
you could. You could say.
But I won't because that's my thing.
Yeah. I think for me, a lot of the comedy, I kind of interpreted it like maybe there's moments where you're supposed to not know, like, should I feel comfortable? Should I laugh? Is this funny? Is it not funny? Like, I think happens in I feel like other movies of his too. It's like it's a certain undertone. I don't even know if you'd call that kind of comedy. It's not like the normal, like super bad-esque like jokes we're used to seeing. It's
Yeah.
very much because the people feel like characters and they feel so like out of this world almost that there's just so much like humor that comes with their personalities. But
Yeah.
for me, I think what drew me in a lot, obviously, like outside of the kind of the setup of the world they're in, the town, the community, is honestly like the messaging. I think for me, it just worked really well and it flowed very like seamlessly. I found myself like as I got further and further, I started to kind of go, okay, like this is making me more uncomfortable. Okay, that's what I'm supposed to feel. Like this is an uncomfortable situation. It's escalating. I think it was a very natural progression. So this part of the movie, I feel like you start to get a bit more of it because you have Bugging Out and Sal's like kind of little debate happening, and then you obviously have him kind of rounding back to some of the people in the community wanting to start figuring out how he's going to fight this. Because at first you kind of feel like he's going to drop it because it's like a while goes by before you kind of come back around to him being, frustrated by the pictures. So I feel like you kind of almost wonder like, okay, is that storyline coming back around? I'm sure it is, but I'm not sure how it's going to come to fruition. So I like the progression there. But yeah, I like the guys in front of the red wall. I think that's
Yeah,
where
so
we
do
get
I.
introduced to them. We haven't really
Yeah.
talked about
I was
them,
just
but
about to talk about that. When
yeah,
you
they're
said
really
about
funny.
like, yeah,
That reminds me of like almost like 90s sitcoms, how you always have like these like neighborhood guys that just like talk about old stories
It's a
and
peanut
have been
gallery.
there forever. So I really like those guys. I forget all their names. I know one of them is Sweet Dick Willie.
it's because when you said about like it's not so much like the jokes that they say like, oh, here's this real funny joke. It's also their delivery. I mean, and then you talk about the guys in front of that wall. One of my favorite things that was said in this entire movie was just fuck Mike Tyson. That like it's that kind of shit. Like it's just
He come over here, I give him the pop
just the
pop.
delivery. Yeah, he's saying he could kick Mike Tyson's ass. Guys, this is in 1990.
Yeah, Mike Tyson's an animal.
That dude will fucking kill you.
Yeah, nah, well done. Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. I don't think I've got them in the notes, but yeah, the guys in front of the wall, it's what this movie does is they have so many background characters that add as elements of commentators. Sorry, not commenters.
Yeah.
Where they're literally like the peanut gallery, where we've got Sweet Love, Daddy. But then we also like have the guys just sitting on the street, just like kind of just observing everything and just like. It's exactly what you said, Ash. That like these elements of comedy, like they're funny for sure, but they're at times they make you wonder, should I be laughing at this? And so they're there to kind of like completely reiterate again and again what we're seeing and like what's happening and like et cetera, and just reaffirm what each of these characters are currently doing. So
Yeah. One thing I do want to mention that I don't know if this is in this section. I feel like it is. I'm maybe a little lost in the storyline, but I think it is important that there's a moment where the cops come when that guy gets splashed and they actually do what you don't think they're going to do, which is sort of like leave it alone and sort of kind of like just go away, dude. Like, yeah, that sucks, you got wet, your car got wet. Like they said they didn't do it, so whatever. I think that moment is important because what happens later, you see kind of a different reality of what it can look like interacting with the police. And I thought that was kind of interesting that they made sure to showcase like two different completely drastic moments, with those two cops specifically, especially because of that scene where they're also staring at that person. I don't know if it's Demare or if it's somebody else, but they're like literally looking, like staring, and they keep looking even further back. Like it's like a really intense moment with music and they're just like staring at each other. Like almost like you can see this internal battle of like, we're kind of against each other. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
there's no words spoken. So I like some of those moments as
I
well.
was anticipating the cops in this movie because I didn't know like next to anything about the movie, but I knew the poster, and the poster has a little drawing of the cop car. I was just like, that's chalk, which means a kid drew it, which that's fucked up.
Yeah.
I was just like, so I knew something
That's good. That's good
crazy was going to
observation. I
happen.
didn't
I
even
knew
know
it
that.
was
Yeah.
going to happen. I was waiting for it, but it wasn't this bit, but it was still coming.
Amen. Amen. Well, the heat intensifies, affecting everyone's temper. I'll probably just finish it off here because I think I've got like 4 little scenes here left. Everyone's temper. Residents seek relief, whether that's through makeshift showers from fire hydrants or retreating indoors. The oppressive heat serves as a metaphor again for escalating tension and frustration in this community. The sweltering weather exacerbates. Sorry if this is way too much like literal breaking down. I love doing that every now and then. The tension, the sweltering weather exacerbates the underlying conflicts, making every interaction more charged. This scene captures the physical and emotional pressure cooker of this environment. Fucking good saying, eh? Pressure cooker, eh? Where minor grievances can quickly escalate to major conflicts. The heat wave is a crucial narrative device symbolizing the simmering anger and unrest will culminate with the film's explosive climax, which we'll be getting into. So, bugging out, now agitated, gathering support from other residents, including Radio Raheem and Smiley, to boycott Sal's Pizzeria. Their interactions reflect a growing sense of collective and anger and solidarity. The boycott plan illustrates the community's struggle for respect and recognition. The scene underscores the escalating tension and community's increasing determination to confront perceived injustices. The alliance of Buggin' Out, Radio Raheem, and Smiley represents what's called, I've written this word wrong, but a coming together of different forms of resistance. There we go. From intellectual argument to physical presence and historical remembrance. Oh, how good is that?
A union, if you will.
That's probably what I was trying to. Yep, thank you. That's probably exactly what I was trying to say. As night falls, Buggin' Out, Radio Raheem, and Smiley enter Sal's Pizzeria to confront Sal about the Wall of Fame. The confrontation quickly turns violent when Radio Raheem refuses to turn off his boombox, leading to a physical altercation with Sal. The fight spills out onto the street, attracting a crowd. Police arrived and, in a brutal act of force, choke Radio Raheem to death. The community is devastated and enraged by Radio Raheem's death, leading to a full-scale riot. This climax is the film's emotional and narrative peak, capturing the devastating consequence of racial tension and police brutality. The tragic death of Radio Raheem serves as a stark reminder of the real-world implications of racial conflict and systemic violence. In the aftermath of the riot, the neighborhood seems to be left in ruins. Sal's Pizzeria is destroyed and the community is in shock. Mookie and Sal have a tense conversation amidst the wreckage where Mookie demands his pay. Their interactions reflect the deep wounds and unresolved tensions that remain. The final scenes show the community attempting to recover and make sense of the violence and loss. The film ends with 2 quotes, one from Martin Luther King advocating nonviolence and another from Malcolm X defending self-defense, encapsulating the complex and often conflicting responses to racial injustice. The film leaves viewers with lingering questions about justice, reconciliation, and the possibility of healing. These detailed scene breakdowns capture the intricate layers of narrative, character development, and thematic exploration of Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing. The film masterfully weaves together personal stories and a broader social commentary, making a powerful and enduring piece of cinema. Now, I'll leave you with this little fun fact. Well, it's not fun. Little fact. Spike Lee criticized several, in bracket white, close bracket, critics for their perceived racist reviews in which they stated the movie would incite anger and cause riots in the black population if this were to happen, the blood would be on Lee's hands. Lee defended his film by stating if white people can contain themselves from causing trouble after seeing movie violence in an Arnold Schwarzenegger film, so can black people. He would later praise Roger Ebert as one of the few white critics who understood this film's true message and mutual understanding. Do the Right Thing.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think about the film as a whole? Give me a rating.
Byron, you can go first.
Yeah, I was muted. I will say just in the climax of the whole thing, there's one part that I agree with. Playing your music, like, because they did it earlier in the movie.
Yeah.
If you walk into someone's store, you can't be fucking
No,
playing music.
they have a right to say
so
turn your music down.
fucking loud.
Yep.
So smashing it. Oh, fuck, I probably would have done something. But I think it's this, even without the climactic ending. I think just everything before it, but especially with it, is why this movie's so important. I would rank it amongst movies like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre as some of the most important movies ever made. And it's a weird comparison, but
I get what you mean.
Because
yeah.
for what the Texas Chainsaw Massacre did for horror, I think this is one of the and drama is such a more difficult genre to do it with. That just goes to show how fucking good Spike Lee was at making something this important, and that has carried. It's been out for 35 goddamn years. I mean, the impact that this movie left is crazy. I'd only seen the movie yesterday, but I've heard about it for ages, ever since I've been into movies. But yeah, it was definitely a good one to get off the watch list. My rating, I was gonna lie, but from how I've spoke about it, I was gonna say 3.5, but then you would have just called bullshit. It's a 4.5.
Nice.
I do want to. It's officially my 5th highest ranked 4.5.
Nice.
Yeah. But I will. I do want to rewatch it at some point. Probably this year, I'd say.
It does get better after every rewatch.
I do think this is the kind of movie that would heavily benefit of a rewatch. So yeah, a very, very high 4.5,
Nice.
probably a 5 later on, but I definitely one of my favorite first time watches of this year.
Awesome.
For sure.
Ash.
You don't ever have to be afraid to say if movies a 4.5.
Yeah,
I feel like you made me think you were going to be 3.5 stars.
I said before, when I said about I don't want to say my ratings, people would be pissed. I strictly said that just so I could say 3.5, and you might believe it.
Gotcha.
All right, so you're gonna troll. Look, right,
It's a 4.5.
Yeah.
I bailed halfway through. I was like, "There's no way they're believing this shit."
Yeah, no one would believe
But,
that.
yeah,
You said masterful cinema making or something yesterday.
I said, yeah. Important feature, and then masterclass in filmmaking.
Yeah.
That was actually an accident, because I can't remember what I originally put, but I meant filmmaking is in because I don't rank movies on favorites. I how they're made is how I rate them. So it was just a mix up on words, because I didn't.
I get you.
Yeah. Anyways, 4.5 is perfectly fine. I'm sorry, I've been looking down because Scooter is currently dealing with some skin issues, and he keeps licking, and I've had to be babysitting him while I'm trying to listen to this conversation, and it's pissing me off. So anyways, yes. So sorry, backing up to the climax. Yeah, I think the whole message of the love and the hate and everything they're trying to kind of build up really comes to full circle when you see the photo go up on the wall when Smiley's in the burning restaurant, and he puts the photo up, and it's like he finally almost feels like he got someone to listen, even though he's not talking to anybody. He's not even in there with anyone. It kind of feels like a full circle moment. And then obviously the quotes at the end, for me, that really tied it all together. Okay, so yeah, you want to approach things the way that Martin Luther King Jr. did, and with more of leading with your heart and with love and compassion, but then you can also understand sometimes why hate and violence can kind of lead the way. You can actually understand both of them.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the point of the movie, is that it's not trying to say this is the right way, this is the wrong way. It's do the right thing. It's kind of it's not always black and white. It really literally is never that simple. It's always going to be a fight, for certain people. And I think this movie showcases it really well. It's you can try to do the right thing, but sometimes people don't listen. So I do really like the messaging and that final build up. I was not ready for it. I had not heard any spoilers of this movie. I did not know any character deaths. That scene was rough to watch. This movie almost felt too real at times. I felt like I was just
'Cause it
watching like
is.
I mean, especially and even in 2024,
Yep.
it's like sometimes you feel like you're watching news footage and it's just like this is too close to home almost. This feels too real. There was a moment towards that like rioting fire, that almost felt too much. It was like too grounded in a way. Not I'm not giving it a hard time, but like when I say that, it's like as a compliment almost because it's like, whoa, Spike Lee, like you made me feel things a little too real right here.
Yep.
So I really appreciate movies that can do that. I love a good movie that's like one setting, really great characters and world building that I like care about, that I want to see what's happening. In New York, one of my favorite cities to watch a movie made in. Great messaging, great, social justice, like great, kind of fighting that power, really trying to like showcase your people and try to, bring equality. So I think all of that is great. And then I also really loved um, sorry, I lost my train of thought talking, but just getting to watch like the full circle moment, like I said, of all those things coming to fruition at the end. So I actually gave it 5 stars. It was pretty easy 5 stars for me to give. I really just think it was like a movie that just worked for me. And it's actually my favorite movie, like new watch of the year. It's better than Heat. I know, I'm sorry. But I'd rather watch this about 5 more times than rewatch Heat. It's not a complaint against Heat. I'm just saying, like
They're
this,
both
just,
fives.
just
Yeah.
that movie for me.
I get
It
it.
just worked in every fashion for me. So yeah, no complaints. I think it's an important film. I think everyone should watch it. And I think that it tells a story we've seen told before and even by Spike Lee too, but it does it in such a clever, unique way that I think it's going to be more approachable for so many people,
It's
if that
fun.
makes sense.
It's funny because I was gonna say it. This is a story we've heard before, but this is a story told best.
Mhm.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with everything that both of you have said. I think this movie is a masterclass. I think this movie is a masterpiece. I think everything about this movie, the way it's told, what it's telling, the acting, all the characters, the way that it's fucking made is, at that age of Spike Lee, holy shit. Like, this guy is talented. I adore this film. It's the easiest 5 stars for me. I watched this my first year of university. I had like a film class where like couple times a week we had like a giant cinema at our university and they just put on movies and they're like, we're watching Do the Right Thing. I'm like, I've heard that film, I should watch that. And I just watched it and I went home and I could not stop thinking about it for like a week. And like ever since then I've rewatched this maybe like 5 times. I love this film. This film's fucking fantastic.
I can't wait to find my Criterion. It's on the list now.
It's a good looking Criterion as well. It looks sick. But yeah, it's one of those movies, and like I agree with you, Byron. After you watch it the second time, I think it will increase. It's one of those movies that gets better every single time you watch it because you kind of take more and more away from it. And now knowing what the film is, you kind of go in expecting what you like, what the film actually is, and you kind of get more out of it that way. But
I gotta stop looking at posters.
yeah, I think this movie is fucking perfect. From the art style, it's beautiful to look at, but it's like the actual story and the actual message behind it is like heartbreaking and brutal, which I think is a great little comparison. But I think that what Spike Lee was able to do is beautiful. So I give it 5 stars. I think the movie's fucking awesome. Next week we are going a little bit less intense film for the month of Sweat. We're going with Shia LaBeouf in Holes, a movie that is like very, very strong in my childhood. I cannot wait to rewatch Holes. I think Holes is gonna be sweet. Have you guys watched Holes before?
I have. I grew up on it. And I honestly hated it when I was younger.
Really?
When I was like a teenage girl, I thought it was the most boring movie ever.
I did, but I watched it in like English class. I didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, well,
I was just excited about watching a movie, but I was just like, the movie, I don't give a fuck. I don't care about this.
Yeah, Ash messaged me. She said that she's about to watch Holes, and she's like, "I'm tired of this, Harry." I was like, "Well, that's too damn bad." So I can't wait. I can't wait to rewatch Holes. But so do that for next time. Follow us and everything, of course. But until we got to go into our quick game of the show, which of course is our movie draft. So part of this movie that we can all agree is the character names. The character names of this movie are exceptional. So we're going through a movie draft with like the best character names in film. So one little prerequisite: we're not doing superhero names. No Batman, no Superman. But I feel like all the names that we have on here are better than those names anyway. So I think it'd be sweet. I did.
You're also not losing that much.
No.
With superheroes. Batman was like the only option.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Star-Lord's a pretty cool name.
Star-Lord is.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
So I did the random wheel generator. So the order is Ash, Byron, me.
Okay.
So Ash, for your first pick, 1-1.
First.
Shit.
What is the best character name? Because
I
I
feel so much
believe there is one that should go one. But
There's only one that I want. But fuck, go ahead.
Okay. I don't know. I could surprise you guys here. I don't know. I don't feel like there's not like,
a clear
oh
one.
my God, that's the most obvious one. I have to pick it.
Mhm.
But I feel like one that is very iconic, even though it's not like my favorite franchise. I think the name is just so classic.
Yeah, I'm already writing it.
Indiana Jones.
Yep.
That is the
Holy
like
shit.
standout to me personally. But
You just sent me on a fucking roller coaster. You're like iconic. I was like, oh fuck. And then she said franchise. I was like, yes.
Indiana Jones is.
I know, but like my one's iconic, but it's not in a franchise. So I was like really scared, and then I just got a sigh of relief when she said franchise. I was like, oh, thank
What
God.
is yours?
The only one I wanted, only one I actually cared about was Maximus from Gladiator.
Oh wow! I don't even have that on my list.
same.
That is a good one though.
I can't. I swear to God, I think it's the best name drop ever.
Maximus Decimus Meridius. Yeah.
He said, "Oh fuck, so fucking
Are we just doing
cold."
5?
Yes.
Each
So
just five,
cold.
just
Yes, I did not.
Yeah.
I mean, I hardly planned it all. That was the only one I really.
Nice. Good pick.
Oh, thank God.
I didn't even have that on there. For me, I felt like this was the clear pick, and it's the name that's said in every one of his movies, and the name's Bond. James Bond.
Hey, those are the names I was thinking of. Is the character cool or is the name cool?
James
That's
Bond
why
is a sick name.
I was just like,
The name's
James
Bond. James
Bond.
Bond.
See, the only impression
You
I
say it
have
like
when
that,
you say that, Harry, I think of Michael Scott. I don't even think of a
Hey,
Bond
that's not bad.
movie.
I'll take
That's
that.
all I think about.
I'll take that. Okay. So now it kind of opens up. But I'm gonna take Darth Vader.
Nice.
Fuck. Yeah.
I was waiting for the Star Wars.
That was my next one.
Yeah. Darth Vader. By the way, it's one of my pet peeves in Revenge of the Sith of how that name is created. Where it's just like he goes up to Palpatine. He's just like, "From now on, you shall be called Darth Vader." It's just like there's just no origin of that. I love that. Byron, what's your second?
I am between two, but I'm gonna go with my favorite pirate.
Oh, nice.
And go with Captain Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, that was on my list. That's
Nice. I'm almost regretting my first pick because
Indiana
as much
was
as
my
I
second.
a cool name, I feel like there's others that I want more.
Indiana
Okay.
was my number 2.
Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I would have gotten back to you.
That probably would
Alright.
have been my second.
Yeah.
So I got back to back now, right?
Yes, indeed.
Oh, there's so many good ones. One that I just have to have, and it's just too good. Shout out Marta for her handle here, but Marty McFly.
Yeah,
Fantastic name, great character.
that was on my list.
Love it.
Great pick. Nice.
And then back to back.
Yes, you do. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I got Indiana Jones, Marty McFly. Who else do I want on my team?
Samuel Witwicky from Transformers is still on the board, Ash, if you wanted that.
Okay. I have to go. I really don't want my list to be all men, but this next one
no
I
way.
have to have it because it's just so iconic.
That's it.
Shooter McGavin.
Oh, good pick. I was going to get that
I
fifth.
just feel like breakfast. You
Yeah.
eat pieces of shit for breakfast.
Oh,
Just such
man.
an iconic character. I don't even like. That's not even my favorite Adam Sandler movie, but it's up there, and that character is the
Hell
best
yeah.
name of any of them.
And Gilmore makes way you wear something nice. That's great.
I got one female character that I want, but I think I can leave it for later.
Can you?
Because I don't think Harry would do it to me.
Okay, I won't
Um,
take that one then. Or I do.
What if I take it?
Fucking go. You can't. Ash, you can't. I'd get it on the way back.
Well, now I want it.
Fuck off, Harry. God, now you've made me skeptical. Fuck it, I will just go with it. I will go the protagonist from my favorite movie of all time,
Yeah, I've already written.
Alan Ripley, Alan
Nice.
Louise Ripley,
Nice.
or I usually just put the word "fucking" in the middle. Alan fucking Ripley.
Nice.
Oh, so good.
I'm gonna get some of the female character in here as well. I'm gonna go for the main character of Kill Bill, the bride.
Ugh,
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
that was the one that I was gonna take.
I
So.
originally Googled this when the idea of this first came up. I Googled, I was just like, coolest character names. The bride was on there. I was just
Even
like,
though
oh,
Beatrix
someone will pick
Kiddo
it.
kind of, but like
Somebody
it's
will
still
pick
the
it.
bride is the name I'm picking.
It's the name.
Yeah.
This is my second favorite movie of all time. I got to do it now. He's the one. It is Neo.
That's great. Yeah, I had that on my
I
list.
made a joke to my mum. I was just like, oh yeah, I'm doing a coolest movie characters draft. Would you take Mr. Anderson? It's like, it just sounds like the shittest. There's not a
That's
cool
the
name at
most-
all.
That's the most basic white name ever.
That's what I said. That's exactly what I said.
I mean, that's why he's given that name, because he's beige. Like,
But yeah, I knew that was going. Technically not. You got another one, or have you picked two, or did you
Nope.
pick one?
It's your turn.
Okay.
I've done so yeah, it's all your turn.
Fuck this. I love variety. I don't care what kind of draft it is. I always like it, but I think I can hold off on that one. I've got horror.
Do it.
I've got fantasy. I've got. Who did I take first? Action.
Yeah, Maximus.
I want a sci-fi in it. So I am going to go with Star Wars and go with Han Solo.
Good name.
Hey.
Not Chewbacca. Chewbacca's
Chewbacca.
Chewbacca's mad.
If we did like 10 rounds of this, that would be like the golden 10th pick.
That'd be the golden snitch. Yeah. Ash 4 and 5.
Yeah, now that you guys took the two Star Wars ones I cared about, I'm just gonna veto even going down that path. Makes my life easier.
Not Rey Skywalker. Don't want Rey
No.
Skywalker.
I can never say it again.
Okay, I know it's not gonna be other people's coolest character name pick, but you took the bride. So I don't really fucking care. I'm gonna just take Mia Wallace because I still think it's a
that's
cool ass
Jesus.
name.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
got the vibe. I don't care how if it sounds basic on
Yeah.
paper. It's a cool
I
name.
thought of it.
That's good. That was on my list.
I think
That's what
Vincent Vega is a better name from that movie, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
take Mia because it's her and she is the moment. So
There's great names in that movie. Jules Winfield.
they're all great.
Oh.
Yeah. And then for my final pick, I'm between two. I already got kind of like a comedy one, so I'm gonna avoid picking another comedy. You know, I think I'm gonna take Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah,
I feel like that's
damn it.
a great
That was a
name
good one.
horror.
That was my last.
I'm sorry. I quickly Googled coolest character names and two of them came up. One was fucking Dory from Finding Dory.
Really?
And then, oh fuck, what was the other one? I think I lost it. Fuck, what was it? Oh my god. Oh, I forgot it. Fuck it. It doesn't matter. Fifth round. He's technically not a superhero, but no, I won't. I will go with. Fuck it. I'm gonna go with an animated character.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not the one you're. Probably not. None of the ones you're thinking of.
Can't
I'm
think
gonna
of
go
any.
with my guy Buzz Lightyear.
Nice. Oh, that's
Oh,
good.
nice.
Buzz is the fucking man.
Harry, I can't think of any.
I can't think of any of them right now. All right, my fifth pick. Let me
I
know.
got hate.
Let me know if this is vetoed. In Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, the man with no name is the character's name.
I
Oh,
mean,
wow.
It could just be a
You want it?
description
No, you can edit.
I'm not gonna veto
You
it.
know what? I'm gonna veto it myself. I'm gonna take the Terminator.
What the fuck?
I'm taking the Terminator. Oh, the Terminator's cool. All right, so Ash had Indiana
Yes.
Jones, Marty McFly, Shooter McGavin.
Is
Mia-
Byron done?
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah. Wait. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was in the middle.
Yeah.
I got confused.
Ash
Proceed.
had Indiana Jones, Marty McFly, Shooter McGavin, Mia Wallace, Hannibal Lecter. Byron had Maximus Decimus Meridius, Captain Jack Sparrow, Ellen Ripley, Han Solo, Buzz Lightyear. Me, Harry, Hasdaddy 101. I did James Bond, Darth Vader, The Bride, Neo, and The Terminator. Fucking some
Love
dope
it.
names.
Can
Well
I say
done.
my honorable
Go
mention?
your honorable mentions for
Yeah.
sure.
Go. I got a few.
My first one, Austin Danger Powers.
Yes, that's a great
Ron Burgundy. Wednesday Adams.
Wednesday.
Okay.
Dope ass name. Inigo Montoya.
Okay.
Classic. And Hans Landa.
Oh, that's good.
That's
Do you
all I
have
had.
Buck Aragon? It's
Yeah.
Dope.
Great name.
Oh my god. I
Rocky
forgot.
Balboa. Honestly, dope. McLovin.
Oh yeah. Harry, are you upset that you forgot
Harry's
you were born?
Harry.
forgot one.
That's fun. What
Oh.
do you forget?
I forgot the dude out of Big Lebowski.
Oh, I thought about that as well.
Oh.
yeah.
The Joker. Technically not a superhero, but I
It's not
vetoed
a
it
comic book,
myself.
though.
Yeah, that was the one I was referring to when I first threw in. But Joker still would have been up there. It's probably all I got. John McClane,
I had
Morpheus,
I had Morpheus, Trinity, the dude, Aragon.
all of the Matrix cast.
Yeah, well, they all have sick names. Like
Mhm.
it's mad. The Snake Plissken out of Escape. Man with no name, Rocky Balboa, and Kaiser Sose would have been pretty cool. Out of
So many
Usual
girls.
Suspects.
You could have done 10, honestly.
Could have, but oh well. Well, that is it for another episode of the Love Death Movies Podcast, Internet's #1 film review breakdown show. Next week we are watching Holes, Shia LaBeouf, absolute masterpiece. Cannot wait to hear Ash's absolute breakdown, absolute review of that bad boy. That'll be fun. But yeah, until then, follow us on everything. All the links are in the description. But yeah, we'll see you next time. See you at the movies.